Hello, hello. I am Trudy Guyton, and I am the founder of Uncaged Woman. And you may be finding me for the very first time, or maybe you have been in my world for a little bit. And if so, I welcome you back and I thank you for being here. So, I am actively posting videos on YouTube because this has been a channel that I have neglected with social media, and I'm trying to change that. So, if you are liking the content that I put out, would you subscribe, please, and share? So, today I want to talk to you about something that happened to me recently. I I was a little bit shocked about it myself, if I'm being honest. So a little backstory. I have struggled with my weight since my early 30s. So, my whole childhood, I was the skinny kid. Oh my gosh, the skinny kid, like embarrassingly skinny. In high school, when I graduated, I was 95 pounds. When I had my first daughter, I was back to a size 0 within 3 weeks. And here's the thing about weight. At that time, I was married to someone who thought he had a great sense of humor, but it was not a very nice sense of humor. And when I was pregnant, when I would walk through the room, he would moo. He thought he was being funny. And when he used to make jokes about my rear end, that it was big. I was 95 pounds. And when I got pregnant, I think I gained 28 pounds and then lost it immediately. So this was painful. This was traumatic to me. This left a mark because I took it on. I took it on, right? And it wasn't like I was trying to be anything or do anything back then. I was actually thought I was living the dream. Um, having my first baby, and I didn't realize then how that kind of a sense of humor can actually be so toxic. But I'm layering here, so stick with me. So, fast forward, when I was 34, I had twins. And after that, it became what it felt like was impossible to lose weight. Now, there's no coincidence in my mind that I went through a series of toxic relationships. And while in my mind, I felt that I was getting smarter and better, it was getting more and more toxic. I just couldn't see it. Sometimes you can't see the forest through the trees. So, something that happened recently. Now, I've done a lot of work. I've been a coach for 15 years. I've had coaches. I have done so many things. I am not a stranger to resiliency and to self-love, but something felt stuck. I was gaining weight from menopause at such a rapid so rapidly that it's like it felt so out of my control. Like, I don't know what to do. I can't stop it. And I know this is a struggle for a lot of women around menopause. I totally get it. This video is actually not about weight loss. This video is actually about loving yourself. So as a menopausal woman, it just felt like the pounds would come on and they would stick like glue, and there was nothing I could do. I would go to the gym and I would try to beat my body into submission, push it harder, a little further, a bigger incline, go a little faster, go a little longer. And it kind of hurt. It didn't feel good. It didn't light me up. And I saw some results, but boy, did I work for them. And the minute that I stopped, I actually was injured. And as soon as I stopped, came right back on and then some. So maybe you can relate to this. And if you can, leave me a comment. Like, talk to me about this because I would like to hear what your experiences have been. But I also want to tell you there's a light at the end of the tunnel. This is what has happened recently that has been just, it's just beautiful. It's not mind blowing to me. It's sort of like, of course, of course. What happened? So when I was in my late 30s, I was diagnosed with PVCs, which is premature ventricle contractions. And it's like your heart skips half a beat. So it feels weird in your chest. It's a little disarming. And the first time that ever happened to me, they're called episodes, and it can happen over a period of time. And when that happened, I drove myself to the hospital. I was nervous. I didn't know what was going on. They did all the tests. They told me what it was. Everything was fine. They told me I had a beautiful, healthy heart and all was well. But that this was something I had. It was very common with women and not to be stressed. But avoid caffeine, stimulants, live a healthy lifestyle. Well, a few weeks ago, I started having an episode and I was having these PVCs and it was uncomfortable and they weren't stopping. They weren't going away. And I'm not sure why, but I just put my hands on my heart and I just said, I love you. You're such a good heart. I'm so grateful for you. You're exceptional. I'm so proud of you. You're so wonderful. I'm so grateful for you. And I wasn't just talking about the physical heart, the muscle. I was talking about my heart. This resonated so deeply in me that I got emotional. I believed this with every fiber of my being. I was speaking pure truth. It's the way that I would speak to one of my children. I am in love with my heart. I am so grateful that I have such a loving, tender, caring heart. So every word I said, I felt and I meant it. And the PVC stopped instantly. Now, I don't want people coming at me. I am not a doctor. I am not saying anything about anything medical at all here. This is a personal experience about self-love. So it got me thinking. It got me thinking about why was it so easy, it's just effortless for me to connect with my heart like that and mean it, and yet be so awful to other parts of my body? How could I be so mean to other parts of my body? So I started to really think about it. And the one part that I actually hate the most is my stomach, my tummy, my belly. And I realized in an instant that's the belly that housed those twins. That's the body that stretched profoundly. And I'm going to see if I can dig up a picture and I'm going to post it. Okay. So that you guys can see what I looked like at 6 months pregnant with twins. 6 months. When you see this, you're not going to believe it. I had people stopping me in the streets at 6 months going, oh my God, thinking I was so overdue. And I wasn't. I had 3 months to go. I had twins that went full term, 40 weeks, 7 pounds, 7 and 7 1. So 14 pounds a baby. My body had to stretch so much to accommodate those babies. And I was so blessed to have a body that created these little ones. And I've been hating on it ever since. I have been so mean. I have been cursing it. I have been looking at all the things that are wrong, everything that's wrong, extra weight, extra wrinkles, cellulite, my tummy, all the things. So unkind. And I just knew in an instant that if I could shift the way that I saw my body and truly love it the way that I truly love my heart, things would shift. Michael Neal is one of my favorite authors, and he talks about the mind in a way that with our thoughts and our thinking, creating our experience of life. And I agree with this 100%. You will hear me talk about the 3 principles in my work. So if our thoughts are creating our experience, then when we change our thoughts, we can change our experience. We can change our life. When we get so caught up in our thoughts and our thinking, we can't see clearly. It's like a snow globe. You shake it and you can't see through it. So what do you do to get the clear water again? You let it be. You settle down. That's why meditation is so effective. When we settle down and we let our minds relax, all of the thoughts settle down and we can see clearly. In that moment, I saw clearly. In that moment, I saw the self-sabotage that was never intentional and never conscious. But I saw that the weight was protection. I saw that it's sort of like an attitude that says, well, if it's not going to work, why even try? Well, if I'm going to get called fat, if I'm going to, might as well just do whatever. Because we give up. We don't think it's going to work anyway. It never has. Nothing I've done has ever worked. So we give up. We don't even consciously know that we're giving up. But in that moment when I thought, oh, I love this body, I started to thank it just the way I did with my heart. I started to lean into the love. I started to say, oh my gosh, you're magnificent. And thank you. And I appreciate you. And I love every bit of you, every bit of you. And I went through body part by body part, thanking it and loving on it. And I meant it. And I knew in that moment things were going to shift. I knew that I would return to center. And it would be an automatic thing, that my body's response to alignment and love would be well-being. And so what happened from there? Well, I was already eating right. I did start moving a little bit more, but that was just because I bought the RV and life circumstances. And let me tell you, I think I burned 1,000 calories just making that bed. So my lifestyle changed. But not a lot changed, but my thoughts changed. And without really thinking about it, I felt like I could feel a difference in my clothes. And I got on the scale and I've lost 15 pounds in a month. Now, I'm not recommending that. It's my body did it naturally. It's not that I was pushing it into submission, that I was working so hard at it. It happened when I gave it love. Now, again, I cannot stress this enough. It's not about weight loss. It's about loving yourself at whatever weight you are. I still have a lot of weight that I would like to shed to be at my healthiest. I just turned 60. I want to be the healthiest version of myself that I can be. And it begins with self-love. It begins with genuinely loving yourself. So I went in and dusted off an old course that I created and I zhuzhed it up. I revamped it and it's called 30-Day Love Challenge. And I smiled so much when I went through and I looked at all of the modules and the 30 days and I was like, I love this so much. And so I am putting it out on the market today. It's $55, but a lot of you know I have opened the doors to Legacy Trailblazers, the founding members of Uncaged Woman, the membership. If you become a Legacy Trailblazer, it is included as a bonus. So you can do it that way if you want to. I'll put the links below. You can join me and do a 30-day love challenge where every single day We just dip our toe in the water of self love, self gratitude, appreciation, loving life, making ordinary moments sacred. It is really fun. Like, it'll change your life, but it's really fun. So, if that sounds good to you, thank you for being here. Please subscribe. I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear what you think about it because when you talk about weight, it's touchy and I was hesitant, but I wanted to share this story. It made a difference for me. I think that self-love will always make a difference. How it shows up for each individual is going to be unique. It's going to be different. But for me, my body is responding to the love. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.